राम 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 सर्वेभ्यः नमस्काराः सुप्रभातम् संस्कृत लोकोक्तयः इत्यस्य प्रथमो भागस्य कक्ष्याणां कृते प्रथम कक्ष्या कृते अपि सर्वेषां कृते हार्दं स्वागतं व्याहरामि. Welcome you all to the first part of popular sayings in Sanskrit course, to the first class of this course. Namamsi. So with the Mangalacharanam to Samskrita Mata and Gurus, let us start this journey. गुरुरेव गतिः गुरुमेव भजे गुरुणैव सहास्मि नमो गुरवे न गुरोः परमं शिशुरस्मि गुरोः मतिरस्ति गुरौ मम पाहि गुरो ब्रवीमि संस्कृतं वाचा ध्यायामि संस्कृतं हृदा पूर्वे सेवाञ्च कायेन वन्दे संस्कृतमातरम् यो नरः संस्कृतव्योम्नि ह्यालयं रमते मुदा संस्कृतिं चैव संस्कारं विन्दते नात्र संशयः. अस्मद्गुरून् संस्कृतमातरं च प्रणम्य वयं प्रारम्भं कुर्मः. So, introducing the famous teacher of Vyoma, the teacher of this course, Shri Raghunandana R. Mahodaya, Asmakam Priya Bhrata Cha Yete. Namamsi Bhuyamsi. Yadyapi etesham Vishaye Bahu Asti Vaktum औपचारिकरीत्या अद्य यथामति अहं वक्तुम् इच्छामि. So for the convenience of others, I would like to speak in Sanskrit. Raghunandana Anna, as we always call him, has been a very great inspiration to all of us from young age for learning Samskrita and for teaching Samskrita. We share a common platform as our Guru Mata Anantalakshmi is a common guru for us. And Raghunandana Anna has served Gita Govinda Samskrita Sangha by learning there and teaching there for more than 12 years now. And also, he is a Vidwan in Vyakarana. He has finished his Vidvat in Vyakarana. Not only Sanskritam, Raghunandana Anna is also a ardent devotee of Ubhaya Jagat Gurus of Sringeri and has also played a lot of natakas in the front of Ubhaya Jagat Gurus, and he's been a part of the Kripashirvada of both of them for a very long number of years now. He is also a Yajurvedi and he is doing his Vedadhyayana continuously, Niraggadataya as of now. It is a fortune for us to have Raghunandana Anna for teaching this beautiful course in a very interactive way. We also know that he is the famous teacher of both Prathama and Dvitiya. We have successfully had 4 batches of Prathama now, 1 batch of live and other 3 batches for pre-recorded courses, and 1 batch of Dvitiya and the second batch as a pre-recorded batch. Dhanyavadaha Anna for taking this course up and helping us know the lokoktayaha, which are being used in the Sanskrit literature for a very long time now. Thank you so much for joining us and thank you so much for taking this course. Bhavatam Charanarandayoho Bhuyamsi Namamsi Samarpayami. Ram Ram Ram. Okay. So going forward, Aupacharikaritya Kinchit Vaktum Asti. How do you join the class? All of you know this. Just to reiterate for the people who have newly joined these courses, we are telling this. Please log on to sanskritfromhome.org, put the credentials for logging in, and you may join the class when the class starts. That is, this class starts at 6:30 a.m. It will go up to about 7:45, 8 o'clock every day. Once the class starts, you will get this join now button in the dashboard. You may click this and directly get into the class. There are certain webinar guidelines which we would want to give you, which will help you to have a seamless experience of this. So you may join from any of the devices, which is PC, Android, or iOS devices. Since you are in Zoom webinar, you will have an option to raise your hand, maybe at the end of the class or whenever the teacher gives you the attention or gives you the permission to do so. You have a question answer platform where you can post your questions. All of you, please stay on mute. You will automatically be muted as soon as you come in, but still, if you are not, please stay on mute so that when you get an option, you may speak. It is recommended that you use a headphones with a mic, which helps you to listen to the audio properly, and also we can listen to your voice properly when you are given an opportunity to speak. The course materials, which are videos, audios, and the presentations for particular classes, will be uploaded on a daily basis. Since this is a small course for a week, you may browse these or get a chance to look at this inside the course content when you go to the dashboard and click on the course content. And we request you all to please close all the other tabs which may be using internet before you join to this class, so that there is no kind of disturbance which you might face for this class. If you have any doubts, any queries, please do feel free to contact us. Please write an email to us at sanskritfromhome@vyomalabs.in. You may also call us or put a WhatsApp message. All the details are available at the customer seva end in the portal. Please use them as much as needed. Dhanyavadaha. Thank you so much, everybody. Anna, the class is yours. Kripaya bhavan स्वीकरोतु इति प्रार्थये. राम राम राम.
अनंत धन्यवादाः अनुज लक्ष्मण. बहु सम्यक् रूपेण तत्र आरम्भ वाक्यानि उक्त्वा सर्वमपि इतोपि अस्यां कक्षायां सम्यक् अध्येतुम् उक्तवान्. धन्यवादाः तदर्थं. पुनश्च अस्माकं व्योमा परिवारस्य कृते मम साष्टाङ्गनमस्काराः, यतः एतादृश कक्ष्यां स्वीकर्तुम् अवकाशं दत्तवन्तः इति. तदर्थं नमस्कारान् समर्प्य गुरुचरणारविन्दयोः साष्टाङ्ग नमस्काररूपान् समर्प्य अद्य अस्य कक्षायाः आरम्भं कुर्मः. धन्यवादाः. अस्तु. A warm welcome to all the students who have joined this course. I shall share my screen in a minute, and then we shall learn through some of the very beautiful sayings or popular sayings in Sanskritam. I shall give a bit of a background about it, and that will help us to understand how exactly to go through this course and what will be there, and how we can make use of some of these popular sayings in our probably day-to-day communication, or whenever we are writing any content to our blogs or to any articles, etc. And what is the gist, or what is the underlying value these popular sayings would convey. So these are some of the aspects which I would want to cover. And before going to any of the sayings, let us try to understand what are these in a high level or a big picture. Any language has lot of phrases or lines which we may call as proverbs or good sayings or slogans or idioms, etc., which carry lot of cultural value in them and lot of traditional aspect which is codified or condensed into one statement. All the learnings that our ancestors would have gone through, their entire experience will be put across in one short statement, which signifies a lot in itself. In this course, so you might have seen this as now as the part 1, because in Sanskritam, there are so many sayings that we cannot say, okay, idam itham, only these many are the popular sayings. There are many poets, many rishis who have codified the Dharma Shastras or the underlying values in Vedas through their kavyas and natakas, etc. Just to quote a few, we all know the great poets of the Sanskritam literature, starting from maybe Kalidasa. Kalidasa himself has written 2 Mahakavyas, 3 Natakas, and then 3 more Khandakavyas, etc. The amount of literature that they have given us is, we cannot say, okay, it is only this much. It is so much, so vast in its depth and in its breadth. So that way, there are many poets, there are many rishis who have given a lot through their experience and through their Guru Shishya Parampara. All these learnings, when we say the Sara or the summary of them, are given in the form of a few statements. And to just understand these sayings, it is very easy. The English meaning of it, or probably 1 or 2 example usages of them, is pretty simple. But when we want to try to understand the deeper meaning, oh, why did this statement come in this way? What all aspects have been thought through is a very interesting journey. As much as possible, yatha shakti, yatha mati, yatha dhitam, I shall try to put in front of you as much as information that is possible. And as I said, whatever is there, whatever we say, there is still much more to explore. And through our own personal experience, we will be able to connect back the dots and see, oh, this is something which I had learned in the class or which I had heard a lot of times. And now I probably try to understand it in my own life. So these are some things which will always be with you and part of your memory. With that short introduction about what these sayings would be and other things, we shall proceed with the formal learning of some of the popular sayings. Lokoktayaha, loka ukti. Loka means the jagat or the world, and uktihi is a statement that is said. That means to say one which is very much common in this world, or many people use it frequently or regularly, which have become famous because of their usage from one generation to another, etc. With that, we shall proceed to the first lokokti, which is a very simple one. And of course, most of you would have heard this and also used this once or twice or many times. The first lokokti that we are touching upon is yatha karma tatha phalam. The grammar usage also is very beautiful. Yatha tatha. However it is, so it will be, is the usage of yatha tatha, yatha raja tatha prajaha, etc. There are many similar sayings that are there. And here, yatha karma tatha phalam. Karma is the action that you do. Phalam is the result that you obtain because of that action. What this lokokti, this popular saying, signifies is whatever we do, we will have to see the result based on that particular action. If any person does a good deed, he will be also benefited with a good result. If at all we indulge in some bad deed, then we will have to also face the consequences of that. So as you sow, so shall you reap is an English equivalent of this saying. And a man obtains the fruit in the way in which he performs his actions. This is the overview of this lokokti. Let us try to go a bit deep into this and try to understand. A lot of other subhashitas and sayings also give this similar information or give this similar intent of this lokokti. For example, there are sayings which you might have heard that the mango is grown in a mango tree only, not in any other tree. That means to say, if we sow a seed, say for example, for the fruit mango, in that case, Shamyatam. So as I said, yatha karma tatha phalam. I was giving an example of sowing a seed. So once we sow a seed, we get a fruit which is of that seed only. So we cannot put any seed and expect a mango out of it. Tadvata, if we consider in a spiritual angle as well, whatever we are doing, we will have to see or face the consequences of those acts as well. And this is an alarming statement in that way to say that we should do good deeds only so that the results that we may get later is also will be good. Again, just to connect back, karmanyevadhikaraha na phaleshu kadachana is another saying that is there. And we should do the karma or the action with an intention of doing the action and not with an expectation of a result. So all the phalas, whatever is there, will be based on various other factors. So with that, we shall conclude on this lokokti, yatha karma tatha phalam. We shall go to the next lokokti, which is also a beautiful one and also very famous, and a lot of us have heard this and know about it as well. Asha dukkhasya karanam. Asha, we can take it as desire, but more importantly, it is not just a desire, but the greed which is there in us, that is the root cause for all the sorrows. If a man works without greed, he will not experience the disappointment. So that's the gist of this lokokti. Asha dukkhasya moolam, asha dukkhasya karanam. Both ways of this saying is used. And all of us know a very famous story of Gautama Buddha. When once he wakes up and he thinks, oh, this is the entangling element in us, which is the desire that is there. And that is what entangles us in this samsara bandha. And he goes and meditates, and then he becomes Gautama Buddha, and all of us know. If you think in a more questioning way, that is questioning ourselves, what exactly we are doing and why exactly we are doing some things, the underlying factor there will be some desire. the desire that could be the result of various other emotions. It can be because of, say, a grit. It can be because of, say, when you see someone else, you may feel that jealousy or something, which will actually make you to feel, okay, I should do this to achieve this, etc. But in the due course, what exactly happens is we build up so much of stress on ourselves. Though we may achieve some results, we will not be in a position, or we will not be able to probably enjoy it in the fullest extent. So greed is something which is always will make us feel sorrow in the due course. So having this knowledge in us, we need to think that we should never be greedy. We should never just go behind something, putting all our efforts, energy, etc. And at the end, we become the slaves of that desire. So there's another beautiful saying or subhashitam which says this: people who are slaves of desire, basically, they are the slaves of the world, and for whom the slave, the desire itself is a slave, can rule the entire world. So there is another subhashita which says that. So it is up to us how we deal with this desire or greed. So if we are just going behind it, then it rules us. But if we can take control of our mind, of ourselves, and say, I know that this is greed or this is desire, so let me not put more effort or more focus on that, and let me focus on the actions that I'm doing. So that is what we'll have to use. Asha dukkhasya karanam. So adhikam, to say that, so do not go behind something beyond its own. Like, we should make ourselves eligible to gain something. It will not happen by force or something like that. So that is something which we should understand with this lokokti, asha dukkhasya karanam. The next one, durataha parvataha ramyaha. The mountains look beautiful from a distance. The gist of this is, all that glitters is not gold. Whenever we see it, we feel, if we take a picture of a mountain from a distance, we feel, oh, this is yeah, it seems to be a very flat, or it seems to be a very smooth curve, etc. And we feel it is very easy to climb this up, etc. But once we go to the base of that mountain, then we understand how difficult it is to climb that up. So that is what will happen, not just in case of mountains, as there is another subhashita which says, duratah parvato ramyaha bandhu ramyah parasparam yuddhasya cha katha ramya trini ramyani durataha. So all these three things, one is the mountain when we look at it from a distance, then bandhu, that is two people who are relatives, we may feel they're closely related and they're so much bonded whenever we see from a far off distance. And also yuddhasya cha katha, the story of a war, is also beautiful. But all these three are beautiful only when we see it from a distance and not when we go close to it. We shouldn't judge a book by its cover, is another just that we can actually come out from this. Just by the name of a book, we cannot say what exactly it is there. The book cover may seem very interesting, the title may seem very interesting, but what exactly is the content, that is what will give the value of that book. That way, until and unless we go and be part of something, we cannot we cannot judge how it could be or how it is or what it is. So that way, we will be able to understand how difficult it is to climb a mountain only when we go there physically with all our senses, and then we try treading that. Otherwise, we may feel, oh, he has done that. Okay, I think what is there in that? It is so easy that anyone can do this. This is applicable not just for climbing a mountain, but in any work. The hard work that we put in will be known by us only when we are part of that. Just by seeing someone who is working hard or one who is gaining success, we will not be able to say what exactly has gone through, what is the journey it was. So these are the things that we will have to understand. Durataha parvataha ramyaha. So always from a distance, everything looks very beautiful, very simple and attractive. Only when we go close to it, we'll understand the difficulties that are there, the difficulties or the challenges that we'll be able to, that we need to face through and pass on to achieve something. Agre, gatasya shokaha na kartavyaha. Gatasya, that is the past. Shokaha is to mourn on something what has already happened. Na kartavyaha, we shouldn't do that. One should not mourn for what has already happened. The gist of this is, it is worthless to think and be sorry or to mourn for the thing that has already happened in the past. There's another Subhashita which says or gives the similar lines. Gata shokam nakurvita bhavishyam naiva chintayet vartamaneshu kaleshu pravadanti panditaha. Our life is so beautiful. Any day we have these three aspects: the bhuta kala, the vartamana kala, and the bhavishyat kala. Always, most of us, if I say more than 80% of people dwell either in the past, thinking, oh, I should have done this. Why did I miss that? I should have studied better. I should have learned better. Or I should have worked better. And we always think we dwell in the past. And the remaining set of people will be always worried about, oh, what will happen tomorrow? What will happen down the line in next 6 months or 1 year, or what will happen? So they'll be worried about what will happen next. Either we dwell in the past that, oh, this happened, this has happened already. So why did this happen? Or we'll be worried like what will happen next. But no one will be really focusing or concentrating on what needs to be done in this moment. There's a beautiful saying in English, the value of the current time, the present. Why it is called as a present? Because that is the gift of nature. We need to live in this moment. If you have seen a river, if you go to a river and see, it's always flowing, and every minute or every second, it's a new water that comes in front of you and goes. So there is no stale water. If we keep water for some time, then you know that it becomes stale. It becomes unusable. The same way is our mind as well. We should not dwell in the past, nor worry about the future. Planning for something is definitely there. And all our rishis or kavis have always given value for this, thinking about the future so that we can take our right action at this point, but not worrying about the future. So that is very important. So it is not that we shouldn't remember about our past or we shouldn't worry about the future, but it is not the only thing. We should take the learnings from yesterday, put it into practice today so that tomorrow will be better. Gatasya shokaha na kartavyaha. This is some saying which we can use in case there is something which is not so good has happened and we need to move on. So That is where this saying comes in, and we should always focus on what best is there next so that we can gear up and work towards it. Katasya shokaha na kartavyaha. Next is Sheelam Param Bhushanam. This again is a very beautiful saying. Condensed in this manner, Sheelam Param Bhushanam. Character is the best ornament of a man. When one has a good character, not everything is lost. Hence, it can be said that character beautifies a man like an ornament. Obviously, all of us remember this proverb in English. If wealth is lost, nothing is lost. If health is lost, something is lost. And if character is lost, everything is lost. The character of any person is so very important. How we conduct ourselves with other people. What is that real nature that we have, and whether we are really truly ourselves when we are speaking with people, when we are interacting with people, etc. And always the character is given the highest value by anyone, if you see. Even for people who become leaders, maybe in any company or any work or any task or anything, the character is the one which will always stay with them. The power might come and go. The health, good times, bad times, everything comes and goes. But the character is the one which will always stay with a person. And it is the most toughest times that will really show what is the real character of that person. So we need to develop a good character, which is always commended by big people or great people or gurus. This, when I say Sheelam Param Bhushanam, so there is one another saying which actually comes in with this. It's part of the Subhashitas written by Bhartrhari. He says, what is the bhushana, what is the ornament for various things? He gives a list of things in that way. Aishwaryasya vibhushanam sujanata, shauryasya vakya sanyamaha, etc. He gives a list of what all the ornaments of what different things, etc. And then at the end, he puts this Sheelam Param Bhushanam. But whatever I say, than that, the Sheela or the character is the real or the greatest ornament that one can possess. So we need to work towards that and ensure we have a very good character, and that will come in a long way. Even today, we celebrate Rama for he is the Maryada Purushottama because of his character, because of his values that he had. So just to give one instance, when Valmiki asked Narada, he lists a few qualities. Konvasmin Sampratam Loke, Gunavan, Kashtaviryavan, etc. He lists a set of 16 qualities to Narada and asks, do you know any person who has these 16 qualities? And then Narada replies back saying, hey Mune, oh Valmiki, what question you have asked? So it is so difficult to find anyone with that. But I will tell you one person, Ikshvaku Amsha Prabhavaha Ramaha, who has not just 16 of these, but 64 qualities, and he enlists those 64 qualities. And throughout Ramayanam, if you see, maybe Pitruvakya Paripalanam or Bhratra Vatsalyam, anything, if you see with respect to Rama, he was always in that beautiful boundary of the values. And that is why we celebrate or we worship him as the Maryada Purushottama. Anyone can reach that godly status by having or possessing a very good character and values. And we need to value the values than just people or their status or anything else. Sheelam Param Bhushanam. Next one is Atitrishna Vinashaya. Again, if you connect back to the two statements before this, we again say that we see that Asha Dukkhasya Karanam, Atitrishna Vinashaya. All these are connected thoughts. Extreme hankering leads to destruction. If a man always hankers for everything, he is bound to be unhappy forever. So this is something which we have heard through stories from our grandparents. And this statement, the various versions of this statement is available in all the regional languages as well. So that is something which is very beautiful about this culture of this land, Bharata. In all the languages, you have an equivalent of these sayings, may it be through subhashitas, may it be through the idioms, or through some of the works of great kavis of that particular language as well, may it be like in Tamil or in Kannada or Malayalam, etc. Ati Trishna, Ati Sarvatra Varjayet is something which is very much heard. Ati Sarvatra Varjayet. We shouldn't overdo anything much anywhere. So in that same way, Ati Trishna means the desire to have something. Ati Trishna Vinashaya, it will always lead us in the destruction. It's a path of destruction. For this, we have a lot of stories which say this. The story that comes in Panchatantra, where again there is a crow which is going somewhere, which is flying. It gets some food, and it wants to have some more food, and it tries to open its beak and try to take one more piece of the food, but the one which it had, it falls off. So in this way, it will not get any food after that. So this is very much common and applicable to anyone and at any place and everywhere. So we should be always careful whenever these thoughts come to our mind, and we should be staying away, and we should always know what is that we are actually trying to achieve. There are a lot of other examples even in our real life, that a person or maybe people who go behind money, wealth, or popularity, etc., they overdo certain things, and later they will see themselves in a situation entrapped with something, and they will not be able to come out. So that's the path of the destruction that they see. So we should always keep that in our mind. Ati Trishna Vinashaya, it is always the path of destruction, and we shouldn't hanker too much for something. We shouldn't be greed about something much. Next one, Kayaha Kasya na Vallabhaha. Kayaha, the body. Vallabhaha means dear. So something which is very dear to anyone is his own body. To whom the body is not dear is the literal translation or the meaning of this lokokti. Everyone loves one's own body, may be ugly or handsome. The only thing that stays with us always is our own body. So in a different way, in a different perspective to look at this lokokti, it is that we need to take care of our body very much. And it should be so much dear to us that we take care of it very well. Taking care of it means it is not that we just put on some, some makeup, or we dress well, etc. Yeah, those are part of it to fit into a particular society, how we need to appear, etc. But than that, the more important thing is how we treat our body. That is, what is the intake that we are actually having. We should have a sattvika ahara, which will ensure that our body will be well always. It will not get ill. Of course, the illness that we face will be also part of various other aspects of the karma, like the prarabdha, etc. But that is different. But we shouldn't indulge in some activities which will make our body weak. Maybe getting habituated to say some of the intoxicant drinks, or maybe smoking, or any of these habits we should never cultivate, because these are always that act against our body. We should be in nature and take care of our body well. That is the one perspective that we get. Kayaha kasyana vallabhaha. That means to say we should make our body so much dear that we take care of it. Another perspective that we get in this is that even though there are many mistakes that we do, but still we will like ourselves most. We will never be able to criticize ourselves for doing something wrong. Though we may say, oh, che, I did this, so it was my mistake. We say it, but still we like ourselves still. Aneka dosha dushtopi, even though we have a lot of doshas, etc. Kayaha kasyana vallabhaha kurvannapi velikani yaha priyaha priyayeva saha. So here the poet gives a drishtanta that if we feel someone is ours, then even though he makes a mistake, we will forgive it. We will not worry about that mistake anymore, because that person is ours. The same way, the kayaha, even though it is good, bad, beautiful, ugly, whatever it is, we feel that it is our dear. That's the meaning of this subhashita, or the lokokti, kayaha kasyana vallabhaha. It is a vallabha for everyone. Everyone likes their body. Next one, murkhasya nasti aushadham. There is no remedy for a fool. People can make an ordinary person to understand, but it is useless to make understand a foolish man. That's the gist of this. Again, in the Subhashita, the poet gives or enlists various techniques to take care of things that are around us. It is easy to control a snake, but we cannot give a medicine, or there is no medicine in the Shastras that if we give, a murkha will become an intelligent. So that is how the Subhashitakara portrays in that Subhashita, which probably goes like this. Shakyo varaitum jalena hutabhuk shastrena suryatapah chatrena suryatapaha, and nagendraha nishitankushena samado dandena go gardabhahu, etc. So it is very easy to take care of these things. That is, if we have an umbrella, we can take care of the heat that is coming from the sun. If we have a stick in our hand, we can take care of the cattle, go gardhava, etc. And then vyadhi, if we have a roga, then we can take care of it through a medicine, or going to a doctor, getting the right advice, etc. And vividhaihi mantra prayogaihi, and by doing various mantra prayogas, etc., we can take care of the visha also, that is the poison. But sarvasya aushadam asti, for everything there is a solution. But shastra vihitam nasti aushadam murkhasya, for a fool there is no aushadha at all, there is no solution at all, is what the Subhashitakara says in one of the Subhashitas. So murkhasya nasti aushadam means a murkha, he is a person who would not listen to anyone. He will not be able to be coached. So he is a murkha. So how much ever you say, it is like just pouring water on a rock. Nothing will happen. If you pour water on a rock, there will be no plant that grows on it, or there will be nothing. Nothing can happen there. So that is how it will be for a person who never listens to elders or the good sayings of other people. One who doesn't respect others. He thinks, okay, I know everything. This is it. So I'm not going to listen to anyone else. For such people, there is no solution at all. We need to say, live by it. That's it. So murkhasya nasti aushadham. One another saying, or probably a related one, is that it is of no use going to a debate with a murkha. So what will happen? Either he will not understand what you're saying, or he will not accept what you're saying. Either way. So it is just a waste of your energy when you do that. And that's the reason we should stay away from people who never respect others' opinions, others' views, and will never listen to what is right. Murkhasya nasti aushadham. The next one, baliyasi kevalam ishwarecha. The only thing that is supreme or very powerful, baliyasi, is ishwarecha. Ishwara is the Lord or the God. Only his will, God's will, is supreme or is very powerful. That's the meaning of this lokokti. Everything will happen only if he desires, if God desires. Human being is just helpless. The person's will alone can do nothing. So the person's will, though we say the man proposes but God disposes, this is some common saying that we have heard. Whatever we may think, whatever we may do, though we are very much prepared for something, but unfortunately that will not happen. In all such situations, it is a reminder that, oh, it is not that you are great or it's something you are doing. You cannot boast about it because there is someone who is taking care of everything. And only if Bhagavan or the Ishvara thinks this has to be done, only then it will happen. So there's another quote which similarly says this is Trinamapi na chalati, tena vina Trinamapi na chalati. Even a dry grass will not move without his will. His will is, in a sense, without Ishwara's sankalpa. Everything that is happening in this world is because of that divine sankalpa, Ishwara sankalpa, and his chitta, his will. And everything happens because of that. Why people get associated with certain people, how they become a part of a satsanga, everything is governed by the Ishwara sankalpa or Ishwara chitta. And his icha can never be changed. Whatever it is desired will happen for sure. For this, there's a beautiful subhashita which says that why it is called so, baliyasi kevalam ishwarecha, swayam maheshaha. So this is about Shiva. One of the poet says this, swayam maheshaha, he is himself mahaishaha. Maheshaha means he is a lord of various other gods. Shwashuro nageshaha, his father-in-law is Nageshaha. Nageshaha is basically the Himalaya Parvata, because Shiva's Patni, Parvati, is Parvata Rajaputri. Sakha Dhaneshaha. Sakha, the friend, is Kubera. Dhanesha himself is friend of Shiva. And then Tanayo Ganeshaha. And Shiva's son is Ganesha. With all these, he himself is the Lord of Lords. And his Shwashura, his father-in-law, is the king of the mountains. And then his friend is the god of wealth. And then his son is Ganesha, who is the nivaraka of all the obstacles. Tathapi bhikshatanameva shambhoho. Shambhoho bhikshatanameva asti. Baliyasi kevalam ishwarecha. So that's how the poet puts in for this baliyasi kevalam ishwarecha. That way, anything that we are doing is always because of that Ishwara Sankalpa. And that is what we'll always have to pray, that let the Ishwara Sankalpa happen in such a way that this happens well. So we shouldn't worry. One important lesson that we should learn here is, okay, whatever happens is because of the Ishwara Icha, then why should I work? Why should I do anything? Whatever happens, let it happen. So another Subhashita which says it, is Udyoginam Purusha Simham Upaiti Lakshmihi Daivena Deyamiti Ka Purusha Vadanti Daivam Nihatya Kuru Paurusham Atmashaktya Yatne Krite Yadina Siddhati Kotra Doshaha. Even for that matter, if we consider Gita as well, as I quoted earlier, Karmanyevadhikaraha ma phaleshu kadachana. The phala is Ishwarecha. Karma is that is there for us, and we should do that. We should do our actions diligently. We should do it without any maybe laziness or without any procrastination, etc. We should do what needs to be done, and the remaining is what will be based on Ishwarecha. So some people use this saying Baliyasi kevalam Ishwarecha, and they won't put in efforts. Say, for example, maybe for an examination. So whatever happens on the examination day. So why should I bother? Why should I study much, etc.? So our efforts should always be there. And harder our struggles are, hard work that we do, more hard we work, more luckier we get, is another saying which kind of says that we need to put in our efforts to the best possible way, in the best possible manner. And the remaining, we should leave it to the Bhagavan, the Ishvara. So baliyasi kevalam Ishwarecha. Tadartham yadyapi evam vadamaha tathapi, we should put in all our efforts and work towards getting that Ishvara karunya and Ishwarasya ashishaha. Maybe the last one for today. Janani janma bhumishcha swargadapi gariyasi. This is a quote from Ramayana as well, and various other kavis also have used this in their kavyas. When Lakshmana says, after the Rama Ravana Yuddha, once Rama killed Ravana, then Vibhishana says, please stay here, you rule this place, etc. Vibhishana says that. And then Lakshmana also says, let us stay here for some more time, etc. At that point, Rama says, Api swarnamayi lanka name Lakshmana rochate. Janani janmabhumischa swargadapi gariyasi. The mother and the motherland are of greater importance than the heaven. Heaven is Swarga, is a place where everything is beautiful. It is the happiest place. The people admit that the heaven is the happiest place, but in fact, the mother and motherland bestow greater happiness than the heaven. So always we need to see which is the real happiness that we get. It's not if we get a big bungalow or big car, it gives a momentary happiness, but it cannot replace the happiness that we may get when we are with our parents, Janani. And if we are in our motherland or where we have got our birth, Janani janma bhumihi cha swargadapi gariyasi. So if we connect back to the previous lokokti, Ishwarecha eva baliyasi. And because of that Ishwarecha, we would have got birth to a particular parents and in a particular land where we are born. It is all based on Ishwara Sankalpa, and that is the best fit, or that is the best possible place where we can be very happy, healthy, and we will be able to enjoy or be happy in a literal sense. It is not just a momentary happiness, but it is the happiest time that we can spend. So always we need to have that gaurava and that respect towards our mothers and the motherlands. Janani janma bhumihi cha swargatapi gariyasi. It is beyond even swarga, is what people say. And these can be seen in the actions of various great men. For example, if you consider Shankaracharyaha, even though he was a sannyasi, he came back to see his mother when she was on her deathbed. And that was the pratigna that Shankaracharyaha had done to Aryamba. All these things say that mother is the greatest, and always we need to give that respect towards our mothers. Even the Vedas say that Matra Devo Bhava and then Pitra Devo Bhava, etc. So the first salutation that you should give is to the mother. Mother is the first teacher as well. Tadartham Janani. Janma Bhumihi. Janma Bhumi is, if we are, say, from Bharata or from any part of the world, the place where we get our birth, we have that rina of that land. We need to do something for that place. Janma Bhumihi. We need to work for its progress, for its unnati. So that is what we should always focus on, and we need to give that respect. And hence, Janani Janma Bhumischa Swargadapi Gariyasi is the saying that we can use in all such contexts. Hope all of you were able to enjoy and learn these 10 lokoktis that we have seen today. The way we will be covering is, this is a short course of 5 days. We'll target to probably cover around 50 such lokoktayaha, so that these will be very easy and understandable, and what would be the underlying gist of these lokoktis, and a few prayogas, like how to use this in sentences. We will see that as we go further, and we can use these and always remember and celebrate our Sanskritam literature. So much of knowledge that has been given in these small pieces of statements. With that, we shall conclude today's class, but now I shall open up for the question and answer. I will see if there are any questions, specific questions on the QA chat box and in the chat boxes. And then I will give chance for you to ask your questions for some time, and then we will take it further. Okay. There are no specific questions in the QA chat box. I request you to raise your hands so that I can give you a chance to ask your questions. Okay, some people have asked, can you please share the sources of these uktis? So these sayings, what has been done is we have collected these sayings from the 5 textbooks of Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan examinations. There are 5 exams that are conducted from Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan: Balbodh, Prarambha, Pravesha, Parichaya, and Kovida. So some of these sayings are collected from that book, and original source for these are, as I said, for example, Janani Janma Bhumisha Swargadapi Gariyasi is from Ramayanam. The Murkasya Nasti Aushadham, all these are from, say, the Niti Shataka, Shringar Shataka, etc., from Bhartrhari, Subhashitas from Bhartrhari. As and when I get the source of some of these uktis, I shall definitely share it. But not all these uktis have a particular source, because these are coming from various traditions and cultural aspects, and we may not have a independent source to say, okay, this is from this exact grantha for some of them. But for whichever we are able to collect that information, I shall share that. Okay. I shall see if there are anyone who has raised their hands. Okay, Sandhya Shrikant Bhagini. Next in line is Lakshmi Bhagini, and then Sandhya Anand. You may please unmute and ask a question or share anything if you wanted to. I'm unable to hear you, Bhagini, if you're speaking. Sandhya Bhagini. Sandhya Shrikant.
Oh. Oh. Shuyate va?
Adhuna Shuyate.
अस्तु बहु सम्यक् अस्ति कक्षा वयं सर्वे संस्कृताध्यायिनः एकवाक्यं संस्कृते अपि वदतु महोदय तस्य अर्थं यथा कर्म तथा फलम् इति उक्तवान् तद् जानीमः अन्ये केचन अस्ति तस्य एकवारं संस्कृते अपि वदतु एकविषयम् अन्येकविषयमस्ति दूरतः पर्वतः रम्याः इति उक्तवान् तस्य अग्रिमपङ्क्तिनपि उक्तवान् तद् किञ्चित् शनैः वदति चेत् वयं तस्य स्वीकर्तुं शक्नुमः लेखितुं शक्नुमः
अवश्यम् अवश्यम्
धन्यवादः महोदय बहु सन्तोषम् अभवत् भवान् दृष्ट्वा
धन्यवादाः धन्यवादाः अस्तु Awesome. Let me incorporate those things. I will, whenever I quote some other subhashitas, etc., I will tell it or repeat it so that you will be able to make a note of it. And of course, whenever you want, you can definitely refer to the video as well. So that in that way, you will be able to recollect and make notes if it is the case. Yeah, and Sanskrit bhashaya api aham yatha shakti aham vadami ekavaram artham api सूचयिष्यामि आगामी कक्षातः. धन्यवादाः. लक्ष्मी भगिनी.
Namaste, sir.
Namaste.
My request is also I wanted to listen to Sanskrit lectures than to Angla Bhashaya. Because repeated this thing only will enhance my skill. That is, I wanted to listen to that. For that only I have enrolled in this course. So I would like you to please serve in Sanskrit Bhasha.
अवश्यम् अवश्यं संस्कृत भाषया अपि अहम् अधिकं वदामि आगामी कक्षा मध्ये. धन्यवादाः. अग्रे सीतारामन् सुब्रह्मण्यं महोदय.
Namaskar.
Namaste.
I was waiting for your third level course of this Surasaraswati Sabha, but just not started, I think.
Yeah, so basically there has been a revision in the textbook and it is being in the review process. Once the textbook is available, we shall definitely start with the course. So that is the reason we were expecting it to be available by say mid of October at least or something, but that is not the case yet. यदा तत्र पुस्तकम् आगमिष्यति तदा शीघ्रमेव तत्र प्रारभ्यते. So we shall keep you informed once there is any such announcements. It will be through mail. You will be receiving the notification and you can enroll. So as of now, it is not done yet. Yeah.
With respect to this course, Subhashitam and these Suktis, I think they have taken, these are all part of Subhashitams.
Not exactly. Some of them are part of Subhashitas. Some of them are independent sayings that have come through the time. So for all, we cannot find a source of a Subhashita or a shloka from say Ramayana or Mahabharata or Chanakya Niti or anything like that. But some of them, yes, we can trace to or we can see such certain panktis or similar panktis in some of the Subhashitas.
Dhanyawadaha.
Uttamam. Dhanyawadaha. Sandhya Anand Bhagini.
Hello.
Ram.
Raghunandana, sir.
My
name is Dhruva. My name is Dhruva.
Astu Dhruva.
I want to say something about the lokokti Sheelam Param Bhushanam.
Yes. Okay.
When we were learning the Subhashitams, there's a similar Subhashitam to that lokokti. Videsheshu dhanam vidya, rasaneshu dhanam matihi, paraloke dhanam dharmaha, sheelam sarvatra
vaidhanam. Samichinam. Perfect.
I learned Prathama from you, Raghunandana.
Uttamam Dhruva. Very well, and happy that you remember it and you are able to connect back this Sheelam Param Bhushanam to Sheelam Sarvatra Vaidhanam. So that is also true, a very beautiful Subhashita indeed. And everywhere it is that is our Kavis and Rishis have given so much of importance to this Sheelam or the character. and the way we conduct ourselves. So that is very important and interesting aspect. Dhanyawadaha for bringing it up.
Dhanyawada.
Uttamam. So that is the great thing. That okay, it was good to interact with you. There was one question in the chat box. Gariyasi means what? Ityatra artha kaha. Gariyasi nama gariyan means great. Gariyasi means it is greater than the Swarga. So Janani Janma Bhumihi, both of these are greater than the Swarga is the meaning, literal meaning of that Vakya. Janani Janma Bhumishcha Swarga Api Gariyasi. Gariyan nama Shreshtaha ityapi swikartum shakyate. Tadvata, these are greater than that. And similarly, Baliyasi also means the same way. Balavan nama is stronger. Baliyasi means the Ishwarecha atra strilinge asti. Icha shabdaha strilinge asti. Ataha Baliyasi nama, it is stronger. The Ishwara's will is the stronger or the strongest. So that is the meaning of that line. Evam, I think most of the questions are answered. Asha is hope. Longing for fruit is not expected. Asha has multiple meanings. So Asha is desire. Asha is hope as well. So in the context of this lokokti that we have seen, it is the desire. So most of the cases in Sanskrit, when we say Asha, it is mostly indicating the desire or longing for the fruit, etc. But Asha as a hope is also used in certain contexts, but in the present one which we saw is not the case. So we are almost up to the time, and okay, maybe I'll give chance to one more person. Rajaraman Mohodaya, you can speak.
Namaste, Ram Ram Ram.
Ram Ram Ram.
This greed is lobha, no?
Tadeva Sanskrit bhashayam ekasyaiva arthasya krite bahuni padani bhavanti. So there are multiple words to denote the same. Asha is also one of the meaning for lobha or greed, basically.
There are another thing that though this other full shlokas you are reciting, can you give it in the PDF presentation slide so that we can copy it?
Okay, I'll try to add them as and when possible, because some of them are like while I'm telling something that comes to my mind, I'm trying to tell. Some of them I have noted a few of them. Definitely, I shall share it by the end of this course. For all the extra quotations or something that I use, I will try to share them.
Sir, another thing, this lokokti, if you have another Kannada or Tamil or since you are Kannada, if you speak in Kannada, then we will appreciate it more than English. Can you have a separate session on Kannada?
Let us see how the Ishwarecha is.
Indian language.
Nyatam. So yatha Ishwarecha bhavati tatha kurmaha. Let us see what can be done on that.
Okay, namaste.
Namaste. Dhanyawadaha. Okay, with that, we shall conclude today's class. If you have any questions or any comments, etc., please do write an email to sanskritfromhome@vyomalabs.in, or you can also write to my mail ID, which is raghu.vyoma@gmail.com. You can mail to any of these. So I will get the mails from, even if you mail to this sanskritfromhome@vyomalabs.in, I will be able to get the mails. So don't need to worry. And for all the course content, etc., please visit sanskritfromhome.org, your learning portal, one-stop solution for all your Sanskritam learnings, and then you can access the course contents. Maybe by end of today, today's videos, etc., will be uploaded as told by Lakshmana. And if there is a delay in the initial first day, please have some patience, and you can refer to the videos and these presentation slides. With that, we shall meet again tomorrow. Shwaha punaha milamaha. Ananta dhanyawadaha. Ram Ram Ram.
Ram Ram Ram. Dhanyawadaha. Punarmilamah. Idanim sthagayami. Ram Ram.